It's called Beyond KFC. It's all plant-based, soy protein, and you gotta taste this. Just try it.
Their chicken recipe may have stood the test of time, but these menu items sure didn't. Here are 10 canceled KFC items that people still talk about. Kentucky beef.
Look at the marbling on that corned beef!
In the 1960s, KFC was a brand on the rise, with Colonel Harlan Sanders' famous secret recipe deep-fried chicken becoming a hit all across the United States. That prompted the company to explore an expanded menu. This time, chickens would give way to cows, and Kentucky roast beef was born. The idea was straightforward, with the roast beef itself sold as a sandwich on a buttered bun and dusted with the Colonel's famous KFC Zing of 11 herbs and spices. A test location was set up in tourist-filled Las Vegas, and the idea was a major hit. The success of the operation gave the beef concept the green light, and Kentucky roast beef rushed to open 50 locations in the next year and had over 100 total locations the year after that. Almost immediately, that expansion effort crashed back to earth like a chicken trying to take flight from its roost. One of the main issues was that roast beef is, of course, slow cooked. In these early years of fast food production, the restaurants had difficulty timing their roasts to match the peak of fast food service hours and would either run out of beef quickly or have too much of it when there were fewer customers in the slow hours. Another stickler was the price. Each Kentucky roast beef sandwich sold for 79 cents, which admittedly sounds pretty cheap by today's standards, but back then, KFC would sell a two-piece chicken meal for 85 cents, which would include a side of mashed potatoes and gravy as well as a biscuit. Customers were naturally more inclined to take the full meal for the extra 6 cents, and roast beef sales plummeted.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
The fallout was so fast that just 2 years after that first location opened in Vegas, the 100 stores across the nation were either closed permanently or converted into standard KFC restaurants by the end of 1970. Beyond Nuggets.
I'm a vegan, of course. Slowly working towards full freaking vegan.
As the plant-based food trend started to take off in 2019, KFC decided to test drive swapping poultry for plants. Ahead of the curve, the restaurant chain partnered with the now famous Beyond Meat brand when it tested the waters in 2019. They dubbed it BFC, Beyond Fried Chicken, and introduced it with an isolated and limited release at a location in Atlanta, Georgia. The alternative opted to replace chicken with a simplified plant-based blend and, of course, that secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. The Beyond Meat brand is well known for investing time, effort, and science to replicate the tastes and textures of actual meat, and this was no exception. On a hot July afternoon, the Beyond Fried Chicken Nuggets rollout was a massive success. The entire product shipment sold out in less than 5 hours.
Easy money, right?
The numbers couldn't be ignored, and a nationwide release was scheduled. But like the rest of the world in 2020, everything ground to a halt. The company finally let the plant-based chickens out of their coop in January of 2022, and Beyond Fried Chicken was available coast to coast on a limited-time-only basis while supplies lasted. Because of the high demand, that timeline turned out to be about 4 weeks at most locations, and some supplies lasted into March in less popular markets. Highly popular, but hard to catch during its limited releases, anyone on the hunt for plant-based poultry products will have to keep their eyes peeled in the future and wait for KFC's Beyond Nuggets to come back. KFC Potato Wedges.
Let's have breakfast at my club today. They do a thing on Friday called Yesterday's Potatoes.
Around the same time Beyond Fried Chicken had its trial run in Atlanta, KFC was doing another menu item test involving a vegetable. In the fall of 2019, the company spot tested a new product called Secret Recipe Fries at 2 of its locations in Oklahoma and Virginia, and eventually at 200 locations across America. The short-lived testing proved extremely popular, and a new twist on the classic golden side dish was born. Secret Recipe Fries are a basic fast food French fry, but they're dusted with that magical blend of the Colonel's herbs and spices that turns everything into gold, and they officially launched in KFC stores nationwide in 2020. But the introduction of a new potato product meant there wasn't enough room on the menu, and something had to go. So KFC officially said goodbye to one of its most popular side dishes, potato wedges. wedges. Enter Isaac Newton's third law of physics, which states that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Because even though the response to the new fries was great, there was an immediate outcry from the KFC faithful, outraged over the removal of the wedges.
Horse!
The main complaint seemed to be that customers could get French fries anywhere, and the uniqueness of wedges separated KFC from the pack. The social media backlash could not be ignored, causing KFC to release an official response to news outlets that stated, quote, "While we know there are wedge lovers out there who may be disappointed, consumer response to our secret recipe fries during the test and the rollout has been overwhelmingly positive." Which is a business way of saying, too bad the wedges aren't coming back, but people really did like these fries. So far, it's been 2 years since wedges went the way of the dodo, and it might just be the permanent end for the KFC Potato Wedge. Show your support by hitting that like button. We do appreciate it. Now, let's keep going.
The show goes on!
Chicken nuggets, the actual chicken kind.
Chicken nugget, I'd like to eat you while I drive.
Long before the potato controversy or the nuggets made from plants and proteins, KFC tried their hand at a legitimate bite-sized snack food, chicken nuggets made of actual chicken.
Cuckoo-ca-cha! Cuckoo-ca-cha!
While they have in fact served chicken tenders and KFC popcorn nuggets have existed on the menu, KFC did previously offer a traditional chicken nugget, but they surprisingly didn't do it because they wanted to. That might sound odd for one of the world's biggest sellers of fast food chicken, but their hand was forced by a competitor when, back in 1983, McDonald's introduced a little golden treat they call McNuggets. The product was an instant and global success and catapulted the Golden Arches to the world's #2 seller of fast food chicken in the world, right behind #1, KFC. The marketing was swift and aggressive, with advertising promoting that KFC's nuggets had roundly beaten McNuggets in taste tests, and TV commercials claiming themselves as the chicken experts that called out McDonald's by name for stepping on their turf. Despite their efforts, the marketing didn't work, and McNuggets went on to rule the roost for handheld chicken snacks, while KFC's original nuggets were pulled from the menu in the mid-1990s. Popcorn chicken.
Hey gang, great news.
Popcorn chicken is back?
No, popcorn chicken is not back.
After conceding the nugget wars to the Golden Arches, KFC needed a fresh idea in order to differentiate itself from the competition, but still get a slice of the chicken snack market. KFC pivoted the idea with a new take on another great handheld and bite-sized snack, popcorn. A few years before chicken nuggets were officially pulled, KFC started work on a replacement. The company hired Gene Gagliardi, a food technologist, researcher, and inventor who was the idea man behind products like Steak-ums and the flat iron steak. Gene came up with the concept for popcorn chicken as a miniature munchable cousin to the chicken nugget. KFC tested popcorn chicken in March of 1992, and it was such a hit that it was rolled out nationwide just over 6 months later. Despite its popularity, the chain decided to keep it in limited rotation, and it has periodically disappeared over the years. It returned briefly in 1998 and 2001, and in 2015, KFC tweaked the concept and brought it back in a larger form called popcorn nuggets, which were somewhere in between the kernel-sized popcorn chicken and a traditional nugget.
Same, but different. But still same.
The poppable poultry snack has yet to return in its original kernel-sized form, making them KFC's second most missed kernel, behind Colonel Sanders himself. Little Bucket Parfaits.
Parfaits are delicious.
No!
Amongst its savory and salty offerings that have been lost from the menu, KFC has also said goodbye to some iconic sweets. Today's dessert offerings of cookies and cakes and even a bundt cake in select regions are pretty standard at KFC, but fans remain nostalgic for a gone but not forgotten favorite, the Little Bucket Parfait. The creation was part pudding cup and part cheesecake, stemming from its manufacturers, the Sara Lee Company. The treat included whipped cream and sprinkles, along with chocolate pudding and crushed graham crackers layered in a classic plastic pudding cup.
Sounds sweet.
The mini dessert left KFC forever when the restaurant's contract with the Sara Lee Company expired in 2012. Customers were upset enough to start a petition on change.org to bring back the Little Bucket Parfait, but 10 years later, the sweet treat remains nothing more than a sweet dream. Apple turnovers.
You've never had apple pie?
Another sugary sweet gone from the Colonel's after-dinner offerings is a fast food classic, the apple turnover. Some form of a cinnamon apple deep-fried pastry is a staple at many fast food franchises like McDonald's, Popeyes, and Arby's. Even Taco Bell has got in on the fun with its caramel apple empanada. But somewhere along the way, perhaps simply due to the fact that almost everyone else already had something similar, KFC pulled their apple turnovers from the menu.
I don't like it anymore.
If there's one thing as American as apple pie, it might just be Southern fried chicken, and it's a shame that the match made in heaven isn't around at KFC anymore. KFC Snacker.
Snack foods.
Back before the recent Nashville chicken sandwich craze swept the nation, KFC had got in on the action with a smaller take on the fan favorite. The KFC Snacker dominated the 2000s as a portable and affordable one-hander take on the basic chicken sandwich. They kept it simple, with a breaded and fried chicken cutlet served on a sesame seed bun with lettuce and mayonnaise, and the convenient and cheap price of the mini masterpiece was a sales success. In fact, it was such a hit that it may have contributed to its own demise. Rumors swirled within KFC circles that the Snacker was so popular it was causing a drop in sales of traditional bone-in chicken, and the restaurant needed to axe the Snacker in order to save their flagship product.
We need the money.
The result was the sandwich being phased out in 2013 and gone for good by 2014. The Zinger.
It is the best.
A hit at KFC locations everywhere except the United States, KFC introduced its Zinger sandwich to its home country in 2017. A big seller since being released at locations in Trinidad and Tobago in the mid-1980s, the double-breaded chicken sandwich was beloved in places like India and the United Kingdom, and particularly in Australia, where they averaged 22 million Zingers sold every year.
Wow, that good, huh?
But it didn't quite catch on stateside, as customers noted the sandwich was too similar to the already popular crispy kernel sandwich that KFC sold in America. The short-lived Zinger was quickly zipped back overseas, where it remained a success. The Double Down.
I mean, it's overkill. You probably feel your arteries clogging while you eat it.
At first, it sounded like an April Fool's joke, but the KFC Double Down was very real when it was unleashed upon the world in April 2010. The meat-centric sensation literally doubled down on the poultry and was promoted as being a sandwich with so much chicken there was no room for a bun. Yes, the sandwich actually replaced the top and bottom buns with 2 chicken sandwich breasts and replaced the chicken in the middle with cheese and bacon.
Oh my God, delicious.
Customers looking for a meat fix and a guaranteed case of the meat sweats flocked to KFC to try the new creation. The Double Down equaled serious dollars and was an immediate success. In its first 3 months alone, 10 million of them were sold in the US, raking in $50 million in sales. Despite this, the legendary sandwich has not been seen in America since 2014. The Double Down's absence is only adding to its reputation and to the demand of customers who want to double their delight of delicious chicken goodness. Keep your eyes open, though, because the famous sandwich does make an appearance at various KFC locations around the world every once in a while.
Shut up and take my money.